What's going on, guys? Richie Fix here, back with another video. Day 2 of New York Comic Con is upon us. I got the new images to show you, and we have an interview from Juhn to dissect. A lot of new information within just a short interview. I'm excited to talk to you about it. Let's go. Alright guys, just going to go over a couple of the new images that we got from day 2, and then I will dissect and go over all the new information that we got regarding this Juhn interview, which is quite a bit, so we'll try to make this part quick. Just an updated image of T-Hawk, kind of getting a better angle of him standing next to Sagat and some of the other figures. He looks absolutely phenomenal. We did find out where he is as far as production standing and how, I guess, far along they are with this figure, so we'll talk about that because that was included in the Juhn interview. So just a cool image, and it's good to see that size comparison next to some of the other figures with him getting that full stance and standing up. I guess taking a look at the next photo here, these, like I said, there was nothing really new added to the case today as far as the Street Fighter line, but we did get a different shot of the Blanka. Now, this is a almost final render of Blanka, according to Juhn. All the other Blankas that you've seen at all the other conventions, according to Juhn, so we're dabbling a little bit into the interview here. He said this is close to the final render, if not the final render. So you can tell he no longer has the gap in his traps. You can tell that there is a matte finish on the shorts. You can tell that the shackles even are a little bit of a different color. Everything, and he's pinless. So there are no pins in this. If you look at all the other Blanka figures up to this point, they've all had pins in them. This one is now pinless. Everything is good. I mean, this thing has turned out phenomenal. I want to see more. I want to see the final render of the open mouth because that was the one I had the most questions about. But this head sculpt right here, we already know from yesterday, looks great. I think we only got a couple more images here, and then we can dive into that interview with Juhn. I guess for this last part, I am just going to throw all the day 2 images in a little slideshow here, and then also talk about the interview that happened with Juhn today. Just kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone so we can make this a little bit of a quicker video. Now, these questions and this interview is courtesy of the Figure Report. He is out there at New York Comic Con. I would highly advise you go watch his interview. 1, obviously to show support to the man. Also, 2, shout out to him for asking these questions. I think he did a phenomenal job. With the short amount of time he was given with Juhn, he asked some phenomenal questions. So shout out to the Figure Report. Make sure you go check him out. Watch that video. He covers all the Jada stuff too. So if you have any other interest in the other lines, Cyberpunk, finally remembered that name, Scooby-Doo, the cereal mascots, he kind of goes over everything. But I thought he asked some really good Street Fighter questions. So I wrote down some notes here, and then make sure you guys give him a follow. Link to his channel will be in the description below, so make sure you go click it and give him the love and support that he deserves as well. So first of all, very exciting news. Wave 3 should be hitting targets any day now, according to Juhn. They're shipped out. That usually does include West Coast cities for states first. So Utah, Arizona, California, Wyoming, Idaho. Start checking your targets. I will leave a DPCI also. It should be on the screen. Actually, I'll just add it on the screen here. You should be seeing it up on the screen. Now, it is not character specific, so there is not a specific UPC or DPCI for Guile, Cammy, and DJ. It's all just one thing. What you'll want to ask them is, do you have any future shipments coming in for those? And the next shipment of Jada should include those figures. Now, I don't know if it's just going to be Guile, Cammy, and DJ. I don't know if it's just going to be Cammy and DJ, and then Guile comes later. I have no idea. But if you give them that SKU, just say, hey, do you have any future shipments coming in? They should be able to let you know if they see anything coming in. But this would be more a warning for the West Coast states, as they tend to get them in first, and then East Coast tends to follow about a week to 2 weeks later. Moving on to the next thing, Blanka and Sagat are in their final renders that you see in these photos here. Minus Sagat, there is one more altercation they are going to make to him. Apparently, they are going to be adding a metallic sheen for shorts. It seems like they kind of heard us talking about the plastic look of the shorts on Sagat. They are going to be adding like a metallic sheen. I would assume that it would be very similar to like the wrist guards and the the shin guards that you see on M. Bison, that metallic look, but a shiny, like, blue look for the shorts to make it look more like a kickboxer look. So that, I thought that was a very nice eye for detail and a good fix-up, because those shorts on Sagat do look very plasticky. So I do like that they're making that look. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like Sagat and Blanca are set to release, according to Juhn, until April. Now, I don't know if he means, like, that's world, like, everywhere, or if that means Target. So if he says April, I'm going to assume that's going to be May or March for Target, until he says otherwise. Because traditionally when he says something's going to release, he usually means everywhere. He doesn't mean just Targets. I'd love to ask why Targets seem to get priority over the figures first. I don't know if they were just the first backers and really supporting the line, and that's why they get priority, or what's going on, or they have an exclusive contract to get the figures first. But it does seem like traditionally Target, the only one I haven't seen where Target didn't get the figures first was, I think it was Ken or Chun-Li, one of the two. I think it was actually Chun-Li. They all kind of released at the same time, but I do find that interesting. And so, guys, make sure you keep an eye out for Wave 3. That's DJ, Guile, and Cammy, and then also Blanca and Sagat are in their final form, minus the sheen on the shorts. And I think we all noticed that yesterday looking at the Blanca. No longer has pins. No longer has that gap in his traps. You could tell there was a matte finish on the shorts and on the hair. He looks really, really good. I'm so excited for the 2025 figures. Like, this year was pretty good. Like I said, it's not going to be as hype as it's going to be as next year. Like, next year is Jada's year. And we did find out where we were at with the bigger figures. So this is going to include T-Hawk, Zangief, E-Honda, and was there one? Zangief, T-Hawk, E-Honda, and I think that's it. Oh, and Balrog. And also, this is going to include AKUMA. These are all first renders. So we are in the beginning stages of these figures. So don't worry about anything that you're not liking on those figures. It sounds like they got a long way to go, as those releases are set for late 2025 and may even spill into early 2026. But just wanted to give you a heads up on those. That those are all first renders for T-Hawk, Zangief, Balrog, and E-Honda. So we got a long way to go with those figures, but don't worry. Sagat and Blanca will keep me very happy until then. And then next thing here, lots of Player 2s and Deluxe editions in the pipeline. So my kind of guess in finishing out 2024 is going to be obviously Wave 3, so that's Cammy, Guile, and DJ, and then one or two more Player 2 editions. Now, I would love to see a Player 2 Dulcim, and then maybe one more Ken or Ryu, even an updated Ryu, like getting his skin color fixed and everything like that, or toned down. We haven't seen a Player 2 for Fei Long, so what I would assume something like, there was a Deluxe edition scheduled for him earlier this year, but I don't know if that maybe ends up becoming like a late 2024 edition, but it does sound like they have a lot of things in the pipeline as far as Player 2s, so and Deluxe editions. He mentioned Deluxe editions, so very interested to see what else we get there. The last little bit of information here, Storm Arena. I'm so glad the Figure Report asked this question. Shout out to him. He brought up Storm Arena and what they thought about them dabbling into the 6-inch figure line. Juhn said, obviously, he said it was fair that you could make that assumption that they did that based off the success that Jada's had. But he said they're not going to be reactive to Storm. They have their own plans. And that's a very PR but also honest answer. They think Storm's been around longer than Jada, so it's not like Jada's intimidated by Storm. It should be vice versa technically. But yeah, I don't see any reason for them to really need to panic or anything like that. They're so far ahead in the Street Fighter realm anyways, in the 6-inch line, that why would they need to worry, really? And frankly, they don't need to be, because there's plenty of room in the toy industry for multiple lines of the same property. I have no problem collecting different lines or anything. Like, I'm not going to be a diehard, just Jada or die with the Street Fighter figures. No, like, I'm more than happy to be open to, and whatever looks good and whatever goes, the farthest with my money, I'll support. If the Storm looks great and, they're cheap, then I'll collect both. Why not? I think it'll be cool to kind of mix and match and do some different photography with the different figures. I think it's awesome. So I thought that was cool that it was asked and that it was a pretty good response. They're just not going to be reactive to it. They're not going to change any plans. It sounds like they're more than busy than with everything that they have. I mean, they're trying to get all these different properties. They're trying to get Scooby-Doo off the line, off the ground. They're trying to get now I can't remember the Cyberpunk. I don't know why I can't remember that name ever. Cyberpunk figures look awesome, especially that big blonde dude. I'm going to mix and match him into the Street Fighter line. And then also, I don't know the characters of Cyberpunk, so forgive me. I'm just saying the blonde dude and then the dude with the yellow jacket. Those figures look awesome. And then that's really it. So I don't know that we see much more from New York Comic Con. It sounds like they're not going to really be adding much to the case. We got a nice little interview with Juhn in the figure report and asking some awesome questions. So we get some updates. We kind of get a timeline of where things are at. And, you can be excited to start looking for Wave 3 in your targets. It sounds like any day now. So I'd keep an eye out this next week. Go check this weekend if you're in the Western States and kind of get a feel and see where things are at. But guys, that sounds like that might be it for New York Comic Con. If anything else comes up, I'll be sure to report on it. But other than that, that's it. So hopefully, guys, if you did enjoy it, make sure you do leave the video a like. If you are new and have watched tons of my videos but haven't subscribed, consider. It helps out the channel, and I appreciate the support. Other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Richie Figs. Later.